This is a USB-C powered battery charger that will charge 4 of the Sony style NP-F batteries simultaneously. I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you $70. They haven't paid me for my review, so my opinions remain my own. So this guy has a 1/4x20 mounting hole there. Also has like a little hook, you could hang it by something. And it has a little LCD screen, places for 4 batteries, and a power button up here. So you take these batteries and you would snap them into the thing like that. So you can see that the batteries kind of hang off of this guy. And you can put 4 batteries in at the same time. Now it has here a USB-C port, and on the top up here it has a USB-A port. So one of the features of this guy is that it can be used to power 5 volts out that USB-A port. So if you push and hold this guy down for 2 seconds, it shows on the LCD screen, hey look, battery number 4 right here is fully charged, slots 1, 2, and 3 are empty. And you can plug a USB-A to C cable into this guy up here, and it will export power out of that guy. So there it's charging my phone. Now it's not rapid charging my phone, it's not USB-C power delivery, but in a pinch you can use this to charge a USB device. Now you cannot charge a USB device and power up or recharge the batteries at the same time. So if you want to recharge the batteries, you need to plug this guy into a USB-C power delivery input, and they provide one in the box here in case you don't have one already. And so this is just kind of a standard wall plug, and it has here one Type-C USB output. So this guy is a 65 watt adapter. It supports USB-C power delivery 20 volts at 3.25 amps. And they include here a cable to connect it to your battery charger. So basically you plug this into the wall, you plug this into the bottom of the battery charger, and it will start charging your batteries. Now this battery is almost fully charged. When I plug this guy in, this guy turns green, and it says here, hey, the input voltage is 20.2 volts, so it tells you your input voltage. It also displays, hey, battery number 4 is basically fully charged here. Now, I only have 2 batteries, and one of those batteries is in my light, and they're mostly fully charged. So I'm going to discharge my batteries, and I'll charge 2 batteries and see how it does with 2. So to remove a battery, you just pull this button in, and then you can slide it out. I've plugged in 2 batteries because that's all I have. They're both pretty much discharged, and the lights are flashing red, and we have the 3 and 4 batteries are kind of moving like they're charging. Right now it is drawing 29 watts. So it has a 60 watt power adapter. It's drawing about 30 watts. So it looks like it's putting in about 15 watts per battery. I plugged these guys in about an hour and a half ago. It's still charging. It is still drawing 31.4 watts, so about 15 watts per battery. Total here is 49 watt hours so far. All right, from a heat standpoint, this guy's not too hot. The hot point here is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We can see inside of the batteries, there's the cells inside the batteries, a little bit warm. And most of the heat in here is down in the body, down in there, but it's barely warm to the touch. And there is a fan that runs very slowly. It's pretty imperceptible, but there is a fan running to get the heat out of this guy. Okay, both of these batteries are in the green. It's still drawing 33 watts though. The 4 and the 3 batteries are solid. Alright, I plugged this battery in via the USB-C port, and this battery on its own has its own charging circuitry. It's drawing 30 watts and charging still. Alright, so it's been hours since these guys turned green, but the total current going in here is down to 6 watts, which might be a lot of that going just into the electronics here. So it doesn't have any particular indication that it's finished, but it's not flashing any lights here. So we're going to say it's probably pretty much done charging these batteries. So according to the manual, when the red light is flashing, it's in fast charge mode. And then when the red light goes solid, it's in trickle charge mode. And then when it turns green, it's complete. Now, we have green lights. It's still drawing about 6 watts of power, so that might be just powering the electronics in here, not really going into the batteries at this point. So it's gone from 6 watts down to 4.8 watts, so it looks like it still might be trickle charging these batteries a little bit. I removed one of the batteries and now it's down to 1.7 watts. Alright, I moved that last battery and it's still at that 1.67, 1.7 watt range. So apparently it was not charging this guy at all, but it was still powering up that guy a little. I successfully charged 2 batteries with this guy at the same time. Its effective charging rate is about 15 watts, and that's pretty close to what it says here. It claims more like 13.5, 14 watts, but it looked like it was doing about 15 watts per battery. Now these batteries here are the biggest ones I have, and it took probably closer to 4 hours to charge these, not the 2 hours. It says, hey, the 2-hour thing is for some of the smaller, like the NP-F 550 batteries. So if your battery charger is faster than 15 watts, this isn't going to be any real benefit to that. So for example, this battery here, it has a port where I can plug a USB-C power delivery cable in and it'll charge this guy at 30 watts. So I can actually charge this guy twice as fast by plugging it in directly as opposed to plugging it into this guy. Now, if you don't have a fast charging circuit on your battery or you don't have another charger, the advantage of this guy is you can charge 4 batteries all at the same time. This guy here provides 65 watts, and so that's plenty of power to be charging 4 batteries at the same time. I got a little worried because it was charging and then it turned green, and it was still putting in a decent amount of watts even after it turned green. But I waited a while longer and it eventually went down, and it did turn off the charging once it was done trickle charging. But to get it up to, 80-95% is going to be somewhere between 1.5 to 4 hours, depending on the size of your battery here. And you can calculate. A lot of these batteries say, like this says 57 watt hours, and if this guy's putting in 15 watts every hour, you can calculate, it's going to be 3.8 hours or more to charge this guy up. It also has this feature where if you have a battery plugged in, you can turn on a 1 amp 5 volt, so basically like a 5 watt output just as an external charge your phone type of thing. I don't really think that's a terribly useful feature, but it is a feature that's there. So it's nice and small, it's basically the size of kind of 2 batteries stacked, and these batteries, when they snap in here, they're kind of hanging off the outside of it. So it's nice and small, easy to pack. So if you have a lot of these batteries you want to keep charged, you could hang this on something. There's a 4x20 socket on the back. You could hook it to something with that. So it's a decent form factor, a decent amount of power when you consider the fact that it's charging 4 batteries at the same time. Not necessarily the fastest way to charge a single battery though.